Hey guys, Stellar here. I'm back with another Stellar Speaks video for you guys, and today I am just going to be making a few clarifications to the drama queen, because I kind of think she was talking about the situation this morning in her live stream, a situation that went on kind of between her and I guess you could say. I don't know. I'm assuming that because this was in regards of a post that I put out on Twitter, and it was having to do with her having her relationship with a married man, etc., etc. And she did come to my Twitter and she left me a comment, and there was a little bit of back and forth. I know a few other people jumped in and gave their 2 cents as well, and I just wanted to make a few clarifications. I did happen to just watch that little bit of the live stream this morning where she's talking about it.
I got a lot of messages from these other women who are yelling at me, like you could tell they were yelling at me. How dare you, Trisha? You were with a married man. I was 21. That's not a justification. That's not an excuse because I was 21. But I will tell you, at 21, I was not as smart as my daughter. I didn't have those life skills or understanding that when a man is in a marriage and separated, that more often than not, he's not going to leave his wife and he's just looking for whatever. And I'm not sugarcoating it. Yeah, someone got on, and I deleted Twitter from my phone again because Twitter's so freaking toxic. Oh, okay.
She got a little distracted as to what she was talking about, and I just went ahead and cut that part out, but now we're getting back to what she read on Twitter.
Yeah, so the email. So this woman's trying to chastise me. You don't be with another man's husband. Like, duh! Kind of know that now. I'm 41 years old. I'm the same age as the other woman was. I get it. If I'm married to someone and I'm separated from someone and he's out with a 21-year-old. 21, 20, 22, you believe anything a guy tells you. Don't tell me that you don't. If you weren't coming from a position where I was, if a guy tells you everything that you want to hear. And then he went back with his wife. Separations happen and then people reconcile, and he reconciled. I was not happy with the reconciliation. I thought he loved me. And I was young and I made some really bad mistakes.
Now, if she's talking about she and I, or me, whatever she said, I had a lot of ladies that were yelling at me. I could just tell the way they're yelling. I wasn't yelling. I don't care. It's not my life. If that's what she chose to do, that's on her. That's the decision she made. I wasn't sitting here yelling. I was giving my opinion. And for those of you who follow me, who know the way I am, I'm going to give my opinion. I always try to do it in a very adult way. I don't go down and be nasty and say nasty things. But I just gave my opinion on it. But in the video, in her live stream this morning, she says, oh, well, let me get back to the email. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, I didn't email you. I've never emailed you. It was a tweet. And I think that's where she gets things kind of confused. She's always telling her chat, oh, I got an email, when it's actually tweets or comments that she's reading. I've never emailed this woman. I've never had a desire to email this woman. So anyhow, back to the tweet, right? Because I'm assuming this was about the back and forth that we had yesterday. Let me read to you the tweet that I put out on Twitter, okay? I put this out 2 days ago, and this was after she made her live stream gushing and carrying on about this married man, and this is what I put out. I'm going to give my opinion, like it or not. Here, the drama queen apologizes to the man's wife for hurting her, yet is going on about how much she still loves him. For sake, why? Keep that crap to yourself. No respect nor boundaries. You are always going to be a hoe to his wife. Now, was that mean? That wasn't mean. That wasn't malicious. I wasn't yelling or anything like that. I was taken back that the fact that she's sitting here saying, I apologize to his wife for hurting her or causing whatever. But let me just say this. I just love him. I love him so much. I'm always going to love him. And I'm just thinking to myself, you ever heard of the term pouring salt in the wound? Because the drama queen says that this man has watched her on Dr. Phil. I don't know the man. I don't know his wife. But I'm sure the wife possibly has curiosity. Maybe she's seen that. Maybe she watches her YouTube. I don't know. But I mean, come on, think about it. That's like pouring salt in somebody's wound. But yet the drama queen says that she was, thinking of his wife. She's thinking about his wife. She said that again this morning, that she's, taking his wife's feelings into consideration. Really? To me, it seems like you're pouring salt in the woman's wounds. And I stand by that. So anyhow, that was my tweet, right? And later on last night, I don't remember when it was, I checked my Twitter, and I saw that the drama queen had responded to me. And this is her tweet. Let me put this to rest right here. I will always love that man. He is the father of my beautiful daughter. I didn't wreck his home. He didn't trip and fall and his blank land in me. He was separated, just like I am. I was 20, so please back off, okay? And I'm thinking, okay, why do you have to put it so vulgarly? I didn't say the man tripped and his thingamajig went in you. That's not how I talk. My gosh, when I read that, I was like, why? Why does it always have to get so gross? I mean, she could have responded. Of course, I expected her to respond if she came across it. I mean, I'd respond to somebody as well. But the way she does things is just so tacky to me. Ugh. So anyhow, my response to her was, I have the right to have my opinions, and I will always stand by what I say. Separated, yet his bond to his wife was strong, so he stayed. Yeah, we all make poor choices in life, but we grow from them. As I said, I found it disrespectful that you were gushing over this man. Again, my opinion. And when I do give my opinions, I say I stand by everything I say. I think about what I'm going to say. I think about my responses, because the one thing I hate most is to have to come back and say, oops, I'm sorry. Oops, I shouldn't have said it that way. So I do choose my words very carefully before I say them. So she comes back and she says, I was 20. I wasn't mature enough and lacked the understanding to know that, sorry. And at 40 and separated, it's totally different. I don't excuse my behavior, and I'm my own worst punisher. Again, 20, not 40. Lesson learned. And of course, I will always love him. He is the father of my beautiful daughter. I didn't say I didn't want him back, did I? No. Again, she's being snarky and whatever. And I mean, I get it. Okay, you were 20, you made mistakes. You were not taught that, another woman's husband is off limits or whatever it might be. That's fine. I was brought up totally different. I was brought up with morals, and I was taught boundaries. I was taught different types of things. So, okay, I get it. You're young. But that doesn't excuse your behavior right now. I'm not chastising her for what happened 20 years ago. That's her business. That was her choice. What I had an issue with was her being on a live stream talking about the man the way she was. I think if I was in that position, had I been in that position, been the wife, come across her and hear her gushing like this, it would have opened up the wounds for me, because something like that does not go away. It doesn't go away. Infidelity, regardless of couples stay together, it's always in the back of that person's head. Always. It's a scar that never heals. It's a scar that never fades away. Although people go on with their lives, their marriages, their relationships, whatever it might be, that's always something that festers in the mind of the person who is basically cheated on. And as I said, I don't know this man. I don't know his wife. Am I sitting here saying like, oh, this man poor man, leave him alone? Hey, he's a cheater. I have my own opinions about that. I'm not sitting here saying that, that he's a great guy. Cheating sucks. And, I had a situation where a friend was in a relationship where she was she was separated at the time, and she decided to go hook up with this guy, and I kept telling her, you better think about this. You better think about this. If you're not ready to leave your husband 100%, don't do this. Don't go down this road, because I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to come back and it's going to blow up in your face. And she proceeded with the relationship, and she would post about their weekends they were having together and just, oh, she was just so happy and she was just going on and on and on and on. And she just, sharing this on her Facebook and just putting it out there for the whole world to see that she was just happy with this man she was hooking up with. She was separated from her husband, but she's just having this good old time. And it went as far as she kind of used me as a cover-up. I guess she was still living with her husband in the same household or something like that, and she had gone out and she told me, well, I told my husband that I was with you. Ooh-wee, let me tell you that. Do not put me in that situation. Do not have me try to cover for you. Now, granted, this is a good friend of mine, okay? We're still friends till this day. And I told her, you better go straighten that shit out before I go straighten it out. Do not use me for your cover. I will not stand here and cover for you. I'm telling you, what you are doing right now is going to come back and blow up in your face. You better be sure of what you're doing, because I don't think this is going to turn out well for you. So long story short, her little fling didn't last, and she ended up by going back to her husband. And I'll tell you what, she came back to me maybe about a year later and said, you were so right. I should have listened to you. I should have taken your advice. I have to deal with this every day. He throws little things in my face every day. We're working on it, but it's hard. And when I look at him and I see how much I hurt him, it makes me feel like crap. And it hurts. And it hurts when he sees the other guy, and then it brings all those feelings up again. And then we have our fights, and he's upset with me, and he doesn't talk to me, and it just, she's like, I just should have never went down that road. And I've had other friends who have been in similar situations, and so this isn't just coming out of somewhere like, oh my gosh, you're just a horrible person. I'm going to sit here and talk crap about you. That's not what I was trying to do. I don't agree with the way she was carrying on. And the reason being, like I said, because my friend said, it's just something that doesn't go away for the other person who's affected. I mean, both people are affected, but the person who is most affected is the one that has been cheated on. And even in the drama queen situation right now, I know she keeps on saying that she's done with the old man and she doesn't care who he's with. But you know what? I mean, be real. Anytime that they post a picture on Twitter, it's got to hurt. It's got to hurt. She can't sit back and just be like, oh, I don't care. It's pouring salt in the wound. And to me, the display that she did the other day was just that. And for her to think like, oh, I am thinking about his wife. No, you're not. Have these feelings if you want to have these feelings. I'm not saying she shouldn't. We all have that first little puppy love, And yeah, we have those like, oh, I remember this and I remember that. But we don't go on a live stream to strangers and gush about that. And then to just disregard her daughter's feelings. That's the way I see it. So, I mean, I'm always going to be me. Okay, I don't care for the drama queen. I don't like the things that she does, but I have my opinions and I'm free to give my opinions. And I happen to do it in videos. I happen to do it on social media because that's just what I do. And she might say like, well, why are you saying this to a bunch of strangers? Well, because you put it out there first and we all talk about it. And I'm going to give my opinions. Maybe she doesn't like them, but those are my opinions. But I wasn't yelling at her. I did not email her. I put it out there. I didn't tag her in it. I don't tag her in any of my tweets. But if she were to stumble across them and react to them, I'll respond, but I'll respond in a mature adult way. I'm not going to go low. I'm not going to call her names. And, in that tweet, my original tweet, I said, you're always going to be a hoe to his wife. And that's the truth. That is the truth. Come on. Anybody who has had anybody else come into the relationship or flirt with your man or do whatever, you see that person and you're like, oh, dumb hoe. And I didn't mean it like disrespectfully in any way. That's the truth. That is the truth. And I don't know. I was thinking about that, yesterday. I mean, not too much, I have other things going on, but, I mean, okay, she responded to me. That's cool, whatever. She has every right to come and defend herself, if you will. But it doesn't matter what she says to me. Oh, I was 20. I made a mistake. I get it. Don't, whatever she said. It's like, okay, fine. You were 20. That's fine. You're not going to change my opinions of it because those are my opinions. I don't agree with it. I don't think it was right. And I'm not talking about getting involved 20 years ago, whatever. That's on her. I'm talking about the fact that she was sitting there on a live stream gushing about this man to strangers and then telling people that the man contacted her. And I'm just thinking, his poor wife. And if he did that, what a jerk. What a jerk. You hurt your wife before, and now you're willing to open up those wounds and pour that salt right in there. That's what I was disturbed about. All of that didn't have to be said. I mean, she could have very easily just said, oh, I heard from an old friend of mine, and I was very thankful to finally talk to him or talk to them. Didn't even have to say he or she. Happy to talk to them after 10 years of not talking to them. I'm glad to know that they've gone on with their life and they're happy. And, we have a special bond that we share, and it's very special to me. And, I'm just feeling these feelings. I'm going through these emotions. And been done with it. But instead, it's like, oh, and this morning we made love when we conceived that baby. We made love. And I'm thinking, you're back in that 20-year-old mindset where you're thinking that it was love when it was this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the relationship, but again, I'm just kind of assuming things. But I know for rational people to understand where I'm coming from, but, her delusion just doesn't let her see the points that people try to make. I don't care if she did what she did when she was 20, 21, whatever it was. I myself, I would have handled it a whole hell of a lot different, I will tell you that. But what she did in her younger age is, I don't care. It doesn't affect my life. That's not what I was speaking about. I was speaking about the fact that she was on a live stream just going on and on about this man and just kind of disclosing things that I felt shouldn't have been told to a room of strangers. And that's just my opinion. And that's all it was just my opinion, and I stand by it. I don't think it was right. But then again, who am I to say what's right or wrong? That was just my opinion. I didn't think it was cool. And end of story. But as I'm sitting here thinking about it this morning, I thought to myself, okay, she's going on and on about that, in regards of the daughter's father and, how much she loves when she looks at her daughter. She sees him and she gets those feelings and stuff. And I thought, okay, now what about the son? What was the relationship with his father? Because I believe he was married as well, right? The son is older. So I'm thinking, okay, you're trying to justify being with this married man, but what about that married man? And what about the married man you hooked up with after you had this baby? You know what I mean? That's where a lot of the, I guess you could say, judgment comes in, because you're trying to justify one situation, but yet it's been repetitive. It's not just one situation. It's been done before. So that's where it's just kind of like, you're not getting it. You're not understanding. But anyway, I just wanted to come on very quickly just to clarify that. I did not reach out via email. Never done that. I've never sent any type of email. It was a tweet. The only way I have ever communicated to anyone has just been tweet. I don't email people. I can honestly say there's probably been 2 people I've emailed, and that was because I needed to give information for winnings, and that's it. I've never emailed anybody. I don't have any desire to email this person at all. If I want to opinionate, I will. If she responds, I will respond in a very classy adult way, because that's just me. But anyway, that was just my opinion. That's my opinion on it. And I just don't like how she tries to spin things like, oh, these ladies were trying to chastise me and they're yelling. I wasn't yelling. I was not yelling. There's no reason for me to yell. I gave my opinion, said I didn't like the fact that she did what she did, and that was that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. If that's what she's comfortable doing, that's fine. But for every action, there's going to be a reaction. And that was my reaction to what she said and did. End of story. Done with it. move on, have a great day, have a great weekend. But anyhow, that's all I have to say about all of that. Remember, each and every one of you are awesome. Now go out there and make it a stellar day.